Hey everybody, and a warm welcome to a new story. Today's story is called That'll Be Your Wallet and Your Ego, Sir, from the PROREVENGE subreddit. I hope you like it and will enjoy the time. If you like my content and this kind of videos, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. As always, this story is told from the OP's point of view. Enjoy it. That'll be your wallet and your ego, sir. First off, yes, I get it, the tool shop I worked in is a dude's playground. However, I know many men who don't even know how to change a tire, let alone work an air compressor. Their lost looks are easy to spot as well. As a retail store, almost all the staff just sell equipment they don't use, or even know how to use. It's not now, nor has it ever been mandatory to know what you sell, beyond price, in retail. If you do know, the staff rely on you to help make sales and keep the angry customers at bay. I was the go-to person for drills, jacks, and air tools. Also, to deal with the hot-headed customers, who want their way in everything. Anyway, as a logistics supervisor of said tool store, I would be forced to leave the customer free stockroom to perform leader on duty, LOD tasks on the sales floor for an hour or two, or to cover the sales supervisor's breaks. As a backroom worker, this means I'm forced to be idle for an extended period of time while my work and production falls behind. I am not allowed to stock the floor, do my paperwork tasks, or anything that would be considered a heads-down task, i.e., sweeping, cleaning the registers, cashiering, picking up open products people stole from. I was only allowed to get cash for the registers, greet people coming in the door with a retail smile, and ask the usual retail questions. How are you doing? Finding everything okay? Is there something I can help you with today? I was about halfway through the lot hour when Mr. Hardhead, Mr. H, walked in the door, with the classic lost look on his face. I look at his hands and see a receipt. So I know he's about to return an item he doesn't know how to use. I look at my two cashiers and see, number 2 is open and would be quicker with the return. She can take you at register, number 2 sir, I say with a nod to the register. He gives me a nod and looks at number 2 before shaking his head, going to number 1's line. Number 1 is a classic-looking southern gent who was born to be a cashier salesman. He had one customer in his line he was selling some warranties to. Number 2 looks at me, but I roll my eyes and shrug, knowing Mr. H's type. He is a dude with a question he only wants answered by a dude. So, number 2 starts her shift cleaning duty, which was the window end. I decide to prep myself and man her register for her so at least she could get ahead of her daily duties. Now, what Mr. H doesn't know is, number 1 is not a tool guy, and will not hesitate to send a customer my way to get a sale out of the next person in line. Once you pay for your order, he's done with you and will work around you to get his next sale in. So I hear, Mr. H, hey buddy, I just bought this compressor, hose, and some of those fixings yesterday. I get home and none of it works. Number 1, sorry to hear that buddy, are you looking to return it? You have to bring it all in. And there is a... He gets cut off, but I know he's about to mention the restock fee. Mr. H, no, none of that. I was hoping someone could show me how to work it, I don't know much about compressors. I need to get some work done and a buddy told me it could be done with one of your compressors. Number 1 reaches over his shoulder to get his radio mic before he sees me at register 2. Remember his words, like I did. Number 1, nodding towards me, I don't know anything about compressors, but she can help you over there. She knows all about compressors. Number 1 sees a customer walking towards my line and waves them over, dismissing the guy. Mr. H is now peeved at the dismissal but comes over to me. Hi sir, what's wrong with your compressor? Is it? He cuts me off. Mr. H, is there a man in the back I can speak to about my compressor? At this point I'm internally raging, but keep my retail smile firmly in place. I'm not sure, but I can call one of the guys from the back. Knowing full well that the 3 guys in back don't. Mr. H, okay, then proceeds to walk away towards the compressor aisle and I decide to FK with him. So I call into the radio for help in the air tool aisle. I call number 2 back to register and stand to the front of the compressor aisle and lean on top of the 4-feet compressor and prepare for my favorite show. Despite working with loud machinery, I pride myself on my hearing. When Fee showed up, the fun began. He is a well-built classic, wannabe redneck, with cut-off uniform sleeves, tattoo on shoulder and a worn-out camo baseball cap. The sweetest softy with a beer belly you'll ever meet. Istens to every customer, and is often the people person of the logistics group. Mr. H, hey buddy, I could use some help. Fee, sure, what do you need help finding? Mr. H walks him over to the cheap 5-gallon compressor we had, oilless. Which is good for extremely small jobs like an airbrush, or cleaning off wood shop tables, perhaps air up some tires, even. Fact of that matter is that the 5 gallons runs out quick, and it needs to compress air more often. His back is turned to me while Fee is facing me. Mr. H, I bought this one and can't seem to get it to work. I got the couplers and the hose too. Bought to paint some cars I'm looking to restore. Fee, I think you need a bigger compressor to run a paint gun. Mr. H, ignoring the little advice Fee can give. No, this one'll do, but it won't start and I can't make heads or tails of that manual. Fee shrugs. It must be broken. If you bring it in we can exchange it. Or you could return it, but there will be a 20% fee for restock as you've opened it. Mr. H, no, I ain't paying no fee. Obviously upset and starting to fume. You have someone back there WHO can tell me about my compressor. Fee glaces at me and I mouth the name of our chill and calm pothead, Pro. Fee, as a people person, caught onto me, I do let me just call him. Mr. H grumbles about Fee being useless and to call up the guy. Pro comes wandering up the aisle, sees the customer while Fee takes the next aisle to walk to the front. He's seen guys come in and not want to talk to me before and is just wanting to see end result. Pro looks at the guy, then down the aisle further at me. Before he can ask the question, Mr. H says the words to seal his fate with Pro and I. Keep in mind, Pro doesn't wear a headset. Asterisk asterisk Mr. H, look, son. I've been working with compressors my whole life and there is something wrong with the one I bought here. The guys here can't tell me nothing. I plugged the thing in and it doesn't even start. At that point I knew exactly what was wrong with it. Pro, do you want to bring it in so I can see what's wrong? Mr. H, finally someone who knows something. He then proceeds to leave toward the door to get the compressor and stops by me. I knew there was a man in here who knew about compressors, thank you ma'am. He looked smug. He leaves out the front door, and then Fee, who was standing up front, chuckles, because he knows I'm mad. Pro, you good here guys, I was about to go on break. Fee, it's slow, you can take a break later. Number 1 just went on break, take his register. Pro, did you get defects done yet? He grins and gives a salute while heading toward the back. Number 2 is cleaning the registers now, not paying us any mind, as long as she didn't have to deal with the guy. Pro, what do you want me to do? M, just plug it up, it's only the reset switch. Hey, ask Loud for help and turn up the speaker on your radio. There were no customers in the store as it was a slow day. Seeing as this was the only entertainment we'll get, I wanted to draw it out. A few minutes later, Mr. H walks back in with the compressor and no box. The reset switch is obviously depressed still. Pro leads him to an outlet and has him plug it up and switch it on. Nothing happens. Mr. H, see, the thing is broken. I know enough about compressors to see that. Pro nods his head and lifts his radio to his mouth. Pro, hey Loud, I got a guy up here whose compressor is broken, what should I do? He then held it away from his face as the guy looks confused. I walk over and lean against the wall where the compressor is plugged up at. Look at the guy who was looking at Pro, and wait for the berating to begin. Loud never likes to be interrupted while he's working in the back and can talk forever on the radios. Loud, verbatim, oh my god. I'm in the middle of stacking these DN toolboxes while you as wipes are off doing nothing but fing off. Need me to wipe your AES too while having to babysit some dumbass. Where the FK is me? Why didn't you ask her first? She's the one always working that D*****N aisle. Go ask her and leave me alone while I get some real work down. She's off with some stupid clipboard having me do all the work anyway. If I Pro muted his radio and looked at me. I took out my earpiece so I didn't have to hear. I reached down and flipped the reset switch on the compressor, and immediately, the thing starts going and filling its tank with air. Mr. H is red in the face at this point. M, oh wow, it's not broken after all. I said with mock enthusiasm. If you would have asked me first, I would have had this solved ages ago. Mr. H, now look here, I don't want it. Give me my D****N money back. Only a couple minutes are left of my LOD duty at this point. Number 1 is still on break. M, alrighty, she'll be glad to take you on register too. He brushes past me and storms up to the register, and I prepare to salt the wounds. Pro gestures to go outside for his much-needed break and I nod. Number 2 takes his receipt and rings up his return for the compressor. Number 2, okay, that will be $38 going back on your card. Mr. H, yelling, no, I paid almost $70. I want all my money back. Me, sir, don't yell at my cashier. You only paid about $48 for that compressor and the fee as 20% comes to about $9. Which means you only get $38 back. Mr. H, no, I paid and I want all my money back. Me, you have a fee on that compressor, and you still have the hose and couplers. It's the $38 or you can take the compressor to another location. I can't help you here, sir. Mr. H, I don't want that got D****N thing. Let me speak to your manager, he'll sort this out. I tapped my name badge. Me, the manager is at conference for the week, and left me in charge. How may I help you? Giving a retail smile. Number 2 had at this point pushed the refund to his card and gave him his receipt on the counter. Red in the face, he snatched the receipt up and stormed out the door. Me, with a shit-eating grin, call out the door to him, you'll want a bigger tank, sir, without the reset switch this time, sir. Wouldn't want that paint uneven, sir. But what would I know, you've been working with compressors your whole life. I get flipped a bird, and if he ever came back with the hose and couplers. Wasn't on my shift. He wasn't the type to tell his buddy a chick knew more about a tool than he did anyway. P.S. The cheap compressor is packed tight with styrofoam, and it often presses down the reset lever switch. It looks so natural in the down position that people often came in with that problem. Bad manufacturing in my opinion. What do you think about this story? Tell me your thought in the comments. If you like the story and the content, please leave a like, subscribe and share this video. Also have a look into my playlist for more entertaining stories.